Welcome back to Great Day. As the saying goes, sometimes you have to laugh to keep from crying. Our next guest had plenty of moments in life that could make you want to give up. When Felipe Esparza shares tough life stories on stage, instead of a punch in the gut, you get a punchline.
We were poor growing up, man. One time the burglars broke into our house and they couldn't find nothing to steal.
Cocaine will ruin your life. You lose your house, your family, your job, your side chick in Anaheim. The doctor tells me, tell your father he has back spasms. And I'm like, man, I never heard that word in English or Spanish. I felt like a spelling bee kid. Can you use it in a sentence, please? I was nervous.
Felipe is performing at NRG Arena later this month. More on that in a bit. Right now, let's get more of the life story much of his routine is based on. Felipe, I'm sure most of it wasn't funny at the time, but you've made good use of your experiences in life.
No, it was not funny at the time, but through tribulation and trials, I made it funny. Like when I talk about growing up in the housing projects, I always saw it like a light over the rainbow, and I would just say, instead of growing up in the projects, I say that I grew up in a gated community. The windows were gated, the back door was gated. Then I say that I grew up with a lot of advantages in my life. I grew up with a lot of housekeepers and nannies, but they would go do that at other houses.
Yeah, okay, all right. So we talked about, at one point being in a bad neighborhood and falling in line with what was around you, being in a gang and dealing with drugs. In tough situations, for most of us, there's basically two ways out. You're either bigger, badder, tougher than the threat, or you make somebody laugh. When did you realize you were funny, and did you ever use humor to get out of those tough situations?
Oh yeah, one time we were at a party and we had a roast battle, and then it ended up me roasting half of the people in the crowd by myself, and they stopped the music to hear the humor that was coming out of when we were roasting each other, and everybody left me alone. They were about to jump me. Because I was one of those people that would show up to a party with like 5 other people and not bring anything.
Well, at least that's better than the person that shows up.
I was a horrible party guest. I was the kind of person that would go straight to your house and have to use your phone before saying nice party.
Well, at least, okay, you didn't bring anything, but I have some friends who show up with a 12-pack of something, there's only 3 cans left.
Yeah. I was horrible.
By the time they show up.
My family was the type of people. Horrible. My sister, she was the type of person that would go to a house party, leave her kid there, and then go to another better party.
And use them as a babysitting service. All right, you say that you learned English once you moved from Mexico to LA. You picked up English from watching TV, but your parents mostly controlled the TV, so it was Spanish television, and your other friends at school were watching like the cool shows. You could only discuss what you watched with the school lunch ladies.
Yeah. I was only watching like soap operas and novellas with my mom and dad because that's how they watch. They control the television. Like I always thought that because we only had two stations. We had UHF and VHF.
Yeah. Okay, getting into stand-up.
My dad, he used to walk around the whole neighborhood and collect furniture and bring it home and fix it. Like one time he brought a television home. I said, that TV has 500 channels. When I got older, it didn't have 500 channels. It was a knob for an oven.
It's a knob for an oven. All right, getting into comedy. Obviously, you had to cut your teeth like most comedians do, and you went to comedy classes, you went to clubs. Sometimes there was no one there. Sometimes there were a few people there. You had your hecklers and the whole bit. What was it like the very first time you got up on stage?
Oh, I was so nervous. I had like the butterflies. I felt like I was gonna do number 2 on myself. I had to throw up. I never had those fears up until that day. Like I never had all those feelings at once. Not scared. My stomach hurted, but not everything was feeling all at once. And then like as I approached the stage, like on my last step, when I got to the stage, everything went away. Like all my pains and everything. And then I opened up my mouth and I stood quiet and everybody was staring at me. And I didn't speak for about a whole minute. And then I said, what? When you go to work, do you start right away?
You were grinding to make it too. You were a security guard, a dispatcher. You sold hot dogs at Dodger Stadium, and you took the metro to get from gigs to gigs. But then you ended up at Last Comic Standing.
Yes, in 2010, I won Last Comic Standing, $250,000, and the next day, my son's mom filed for child support.
She's like, I'm up in the game
He's
right
the last
now.
baby mama standing.
You were the first Latino to win, and you have continued success since then, selling out shows, and you have bilingual shows, which have been very, very popular. You say Latinos will travel hours to get to your stand-up comedy routine.
Yes, because people will tell me I will go to places like where I didn't think there was Latinos there. Like I went to where did I go? Minnesota.
Don't you know?
Yeah, Minnesota. And I was like, what? If you made it this far, you could stay.
All right.
Collect $200, senor. I mean, it was far. They were like freeze-dried Mexicans.
Far and cold, depending on what time of year you were there. All right. Your new Netflix special.
But I noticed that wherever I go, even if I go to Australia or England, Amsterdam, Rotterdam, Melbourne, my audience is predominantly Latino. So somehow they show up. Like they find out who I am and they just show up.
Yeah.
But I remember in the beginning, I used to perform at the urban clubs in Houston at a club called Just Joking.
Okay.
And I met a lot of funny comics in Houston. Like one of my favorite comedians in Houston is Rudy Rush. You little rabbit, you.
That was your way of saying good morning, Rudy. Okay. Your Netflix special, Raging Fool. Raging Fool, what can we expect from that?
Oh, my new special, Raging Fool, is dark comedy. I would say have dinner, sit down with your wife, and watch the special. It's all about growing up and getting older in life because I'm getting older. Talk about how I'm getting older. I'm at the age now where I can see my favorite bands now at Six Flags.
Your At My Leisure World Tour is bringing you to NRG Arena. We'll give people details on that in just a second, but I'm going to end with, you touched on it earlier. Comedy is so much more than just entertainment and humor. You actually have people who will say to you, thanks for lightening my load.
Yes. People tell me that I was having a real bad day driving 3 hours to your show, stuck in traffic. But when I got here, it was all worth it. You made me laugh. I think I'm gonna look for a hotel room now because I'm too drunk to leave, to drive back 5 hours. This has been a very costly night, but I had a good time.
All right, Felipe, when you get here after your set's all done, I'm gonna meet you in the club after, okay? Because my nickname is Negrita Loca.
Man.
My nickname is Negrita Loca,
I used to party in Houston. We'll go to home, throwback, old school. We have some bowling balls and play pool.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'll take you on because I'm pretty good with that. All right, Felipe, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
All right, you can catch Felipe Esparza live on his At My Leisure World Tour Friday, April 25th at 7 p.m. at NRG Arena. Great seats are still available for this incredible night of stand-up comedy. For more information on Felipe or to purchase tickets, visit greatdayhouston.com and we will connect you.